Luffy is ecstatic to learn he has reached Elbaph after longing to see it for some time. He starts talking about how he had never seen so many giants together in one place on the Great Eirik, and he hopes Usopp figures out they have made it to once he climbs up the giant tree. As he was talking, an irate Loki finally gets Luffy's attention after trying to speak to him, while also informing Luffy that as he is in the presence of the Sun God, he is to not speak without his permission, as Loki's title is shown, revealing that the world government put a special bounty of 2,600,000,000 belly on him. Loki asks Luffy what he makes of his current predicament, and Luffy obviously states he is chained up. Loki states he wishes to be freed as he has been chained up for 6 years, and while he considers himself the strongest giant in Elbaph, the tree he is chained to is Treasure Tree Adam, the sturdiest tree in existence, and in addition, the chains are made of sea stone, which inhibit his devil fruit powers. Knowing Luffy is a pirate, Loki asks him that if he frees him, he will destroy a rival pirate crew of his choice. Of course, Loki says he will not force Luffy to do anything. But with that said, he reveals that particular location is called the underworld of Elbaph, where those judged as criminals are sentenced to and is surrounded by ginormous beasts who will destroy anyone. Though Loki states the beasts are all his friends, and therefore, if Luffy does not do as Loki says, the beasts will kill him. However, when Luffy sees the beasts, he reminisces of his time on Musukena instead. Several humans appear as well, who Loki says tried to fight Elbaph only to be defeated and sentenced here, with them all wearing stinking robes to ward off the beasts. Though they seem to be loyal to Loki, the men hope that they will not be knocked unconscious like last time because of Shanks. But hearing his name gets Luffy's attention, just as he tames the beasts himself to the astonishment of the men and Loki. Luffy asks if Shanks really did come to Elbaph, and sensing his admiration of him, Loki calls him a cowardly pirate. Angered by this, Luffy immediately changes to Gear 4 and tries to punch Loki, who swiftly moves his head to avoid the attack. Loki tells Luffy he was only joking, but Luffy angrily tells Loki to never joke like that again. As for Loki, he thinks to himself that the minute he is free, he will kill Luffy for attacking him while defenseless. Once he calms down, Luffy asks Loki why Shanks was in Elbaph and if he is still here, but Loki says he will not give him that information for free. Meanwhile, with Zoro's group, the 5 of them are still climbing the rope bridge up the tree, but Usopp sees from afar that Road is running behind him, deducing he was the sun god because he looks like he was zapped by lightning. Also, Bird and Goldbird are chasing after him, with the latter carrying the 1,000 Sunny in his hands. Zoro considers fighting back, but Usopp stops him, saying they could be friends with Dory and Brogy, so they should instead run to the nearest village for safety and answers. Elsewhere, Patruin and Stanton have taken down a giant moose for its meat, intending to serve it to the Straw Hats. On the Great Eirik, Rook has just finished giving Robin a haircut, though he was quite nervous due to it being his first time. However, he is told he did a great job as Robin's hair now looks how it did 2 years ago. Dory and Brogy learned this because it was how she looked when she first met Saul, while Frankie, Oimo, and Kashi feel nostalgic because it reminds him of when they first met. The crew then finally arrive at Elbaph. But elsewhere, a giant yells that Saul has fallen and cannot get up.